Peace be with you. Much is happening on your surface world. Movement is now afoot to utterly change how your reality operates. At present, those who wish to implement such change are in the process of a set of final negotiations to determine how the order for these transformations are to manifest. All of this is dependent on just how our allies are to produce what they have so far agreed to. This critical first step requires us to finish our meetings with those who are this world's secret sacred societies. At present, the first part of these joint plans is nearly complete. The next step is to begin a massive repositioning of their immense forces and of those who can start the massive delivery operation. Hence, the beginnings of these delivery operations are in an initial stage. The cabal remains in disarray and barely able to oppose these plans. Dark Ones realize that a massive arrest procedure is about 10 days away. When these arrests begin in earnest, it becomes time to truly deliver the immense amount of funds that you deserve. The Agarthans are presently working with our delivery system operators to ensure that all works as planned. In our last report, we explained some of your ancient history. The most important part of this report is the time when the Anunnaki came to the fore. You were taught untruths that were later used by their minions to keep you docile, under control, and in full belief of their manipulated origin stories. These falsities are now unraveling as the Anunnaki's minions start to lose full control of this reality. Nevertheless, a certain degree of secrecy is still required to ensure that these deliveries go as planned. Once these operations have gone far enough to declare NESARA, then these precautions are to become unnecessary. Until then, the cabal possesses a limited degree of power, which needs at some point to be honored. It is this limited power and many associated tricks, which have somewhat delayed these necessary actions to arrest them and to provide you with the means to receive your blessings. We must ask your forgiveness for these delays that have so frustrated and upset each of you. We are in the process of countering these past disasters and giving you your much-needed blessings. This complex process is initially to take somewhat longer than you might expect. Nevertheless, be prepared to see what you have been waiting for, to at last commence. It is not easy to prepare this world for the vast transformation it needs. You have spent lifetimes being adjusted to a reality that was really one in which your inner powers and abilities were discounted by the minions and their masters, the Anunnaki. Now, it is essential that you quickly accept where what was long discounted is now being readily accepted by a new reality. This process is to be accelerated by the lessons to be offered by the Ascended Masters. Yet, this is only a start towards seeing this world in a very new way. The mushrooming electronic age of the past decade is aiding this process by opening up new vistas for global interpersonal communications. This vastly speeds up how news around you is rapidly disseminated. Think how fast this is to be when you can freely use your telepathic abilities to spread vital information across this globe. Next, imagine how this is to be when we arrive. Our mission is to prepare you quickly for your return to full consciousness. Inside your vast human genome is a series of key sequences that were altered by the Atlanteans long ago. These are to be unblocked by your crystal chamber. Before this, a special mentor is to address the epigenetics that were introduced to each of you over the millennia as either by group or individual alteration. Each mentor is to address this, which is in reality a psychological phenomenon. Thus, you are looking at your change from two angles. First, there is an emotional set of events to be looked at and a series of changes to take place while in the crystal chamber. Hence, your mentor and you are to tackle head-on what have been your experiences in this lifetime as well as a glimpse at what happened in your family's past lives. While this is to be somewhat traumatic, it is to be a good first start on what your time in limited consciousness is really about. With this, you can begin to better understand why heaven permitted the Anunnaki to temporarily manipulate you. Blessings. We are your Ascended Masters. This realm is transforming. The sacred and blessed forces of heaven are preparing this beautiful blue orb for a most magnificent miracle. Those who have ruled this world for millennia can no longer continue as before. Their lascivious actions and immoral plans are now coming to naught. The dark still believes in an unholy plan to dismember humanity. All of this is blessedly failing as the source of this power rapidly fades away. Into this growing void have come the forces of light to lovingly alter the course of this realm and produce the events needed to set you free. The light is as well to provide the monetary resources to transform Gaia and all who dwell upon her surface worlds. These sets of grand events are now beginning to manifest, as a new banking world and reset currencies come upon the scene. In the weeks and months ahead, you are to marvel at what heaven has readied for you. Believe in the light and focus and joy at what is now about to happen. A few centuries ago, we masters decided to transform how the Anunnaki's minions collected and used their most impressive wealth. This special reform forged several world trusts, and eventually a fractional banking system. This was the ruse needed to encourage avarice, and lead these dark ones to monetary gluttony. By this last century, gold and silver were replaced en masse by a thing called fiat currency. The thoughtless swine had now cleverly been led down a path to their ruin. Blessedly, there had at this time been those who had the wisdom, love, and resources to create elements needed for this most luscious and divine plan. This age of light dawned, and soon the dark was without its overlords or even the sanctity to realize what was to happen to them. We are hence at the moment where the path ends and a most magnificent set of realities sets in for those who did not heed the decrees and desires of heaven. This present time is when you, my most wonderful ones, are finally to receive the sweets of the dark one's deviousness. Be ready to move from utter frustration to a most glorious joy. It is not easy to wait while you see little changing. We understand in the fullest what the dark and its overlords did to you. Once we were as you, we lived lives of quiet desperation. These times are to be changed, and a most delightful reward is to be given to you. Right now, many are working in divine joy to make it possible to provide you the resources both financial and sacred, to permit you to carry out those events that are to provide all with the great and righteous realm. You are meant to live in this new reality and to forge a union between the two realms that are Gaia. You are meant to be able to fulfill your destiny. Use your love to support this luxurious realm. Today, we completed yet another message to inform you about what is now happening across this globe. Soon, you are to bask in the ways of a new and divine world. Use this remaining time to prepare to welcome in this new age. Know, dear ones, that the countless supply and never-ending prosperity of heaven are indeed yours. So be it.